Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of Matt's Edge. And I'd like to explain some stuff before I actually tell you what all of this is. But, you can probably already guess. But, I'm going to explain why I haven't been doing a video in a couple of weeks actually, it's been a while. So I planned on doing some videos while we were on vacation at the beach. But I got sick, so I got a sore throat and I had to be in bed for actually a half our vacation. It was like 5 days or something like that, and it was really kind of sad. But so I planned on doing this, but I got sick, and then we just kind of ran out of time because I would really, no offense to you guys, but I would like to spend time with my family, mostly while we're at the beach and on vacation. But then when we got home, some things happened, and I told my family. It didn't really discourage me, but I guess in a way it kind of did, because whenever it was time to do a video, I was just like, no, it's not really, this doesn't really matter. And then I would just kind of push it off until it was too late. But I would like to, as I said, I'm sorry for that, and I would like to start back up videos now. So I'll be trying to do more videos now, and that's just why I haven't been doing them. And also the face reveal, we'll be pushing that back a few ways because of the same, it's a family thing, so I'd rather not divulge, is that the word I'm looking for? Divulge on camera. But either way, I'm sure a lot of you have been hearing about the rumors, actually not rumors, it's definitely confirmed they're making a Wings of Fire TV show. I am literally praying that they don't put the same agenda that was in Hatching Dragon 2 and the final Star Wars movie that kept me from watching those. I mean, I know it's in there's one in the 6th book and the 10th book, but the first 5 books are completely fine. They're one of the best series I've ever read, and I really hope they just don't put that into the first 5 books or seasons or whatever they're going to do. But either way, I've long imagined voices when I read Wings of Fire. I even made and typed out a letter to E.T. Sutherland, the author of Wings of Fire, of the voices I think should play the characters. So how this will work is going to be, I'm going to have the picture of the Wings of Fire character right there, and a person of the person I think should play them right here. So I'll explain a little bit about the character. I'm not going to explain too much because I don't want to spoil the character or the books for you guys. Make sure you guys go read the books. And if you want, if the agenda doesn't bother you, I guess you could go ahead and read the 6th and the 10th book. I just don't really. I did read them at one point, sadly. That's because I just didn't know it had it in it. But now I know it has it in it, and I don't read those books anymore, at least the 6th and 10th book. But either way, let's start off. So how it's going to work, as I said, the picture, and then we're going to play a little bit of a voice clip of the person, so give you a general idea of what I think they would sound like. And obviously, I don't have really good editing on this channel, so I'm going to be using clips off of YouTube. I do not own any of these clips. I'm not trying to make a profit out of this video, and there will be a thing to show you whose channel it is in case you want to go look at the channel. But either way, for Hivitar, he is the Ice Wing in the prologue of the first Wings of Fire book, The Dragonet Prophecy, which that's what we're doing the first book characters today, or tonight really, where I am. But he's the Ice Wing in the first part of the book. He's carrying the Skywing egg of the Dragonet Prophecy until he runs into some unfortunate trouble with Queen Byrne and several of her Sandwing guards. So I think James McAvoy is a perfect role to play Hivitar. Well, I guess not. He's a very good role to play. He's a very good actor. He's a very good person to play Hivitar. I may be butchering some of these names. I apologize if I am. This is just how I pronounce it. I pronounce it Hivitar and James McAvoy. But anywho. So he runs into some fortunate trouble and some stuff happens. But this is what it's going to basically sound like. And you're going to see the person's YouTube name right there. But anyway, this is what it's going to basically sound like.
Yeah, he looks slightly familiar. Get off the bloody chandelier, thanks.
That is what Hivitar would kind of sound like, in my opinion. So let me know if you guys think the same. This is my first time doing one of these videos. I'm sorry if it's not like as explanatory as it should be. This is the first time I'm doing one of these videos. Let me know if you guys want to do it again, because this was a lot of fun making. Just posting the pictures and everything, and getting the voice clips. The voice clips was probably a lot of work though. So I would very much appreciate it if you guys hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notified of every video I make. Because as I said, this part was really fun, the posting the pictures and everything, but the getting the voice clips and finding the right one, that was very troublesome, took a very long time. But either way, let's move on to Queen Byrne. Queen Byrne, who is one of the Sandwing queens, well, I can't really explain much without divulging too much. She's one of the sisters fighting for the throne. We'll leave it at that. I think Carrie Coon should play her. If you guys know who Carrie Coon is, she played Proxima Midnight in the Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame. She was also her in the new Marvel's What If show. Now, as I said, I'll do a little small voice clip, and then we'll do the same, but I need to X off this one first. I'm just going to cover you guys up for just a second. There we go. While I get the clip up. Some of these clips are shorter than others, and I apologize for that. And I apologize. I probably could have found better pictures of the actors or actresses. So, sorry about that. And I don't know if this is how they look in the book. If it's from the graphic novel, I know that's how they look. But really, I just got pictures of the dragons from the internet. So, I don't know if that's how they look or not. But we're just going with what we got. Anywho, so the same voice clip for this would be kind of like this.
It's a diversion. Sound the alarm.
I might get a little bit of the clip too, or someone else talking, but you got the main idea of her when she said, it's a diversion, sound the alarms. That is what I think she should sound like. I'm sorry it was just a short clip. I couldn't find really any other clip that worked. But Queen Byrne is like this aggressive, always wanting to attack, always wanting to kill, everything. I'm not saying Carrie Coon is like that at all, but Proxima Midnight, and she can do a very good personality for that, which is why I picked Carrie Coon. Let me know what you guys would choose in the comments down below. I'm very interested to know that. But moving on from Queen Byrne, if I remember correctly, I believe, yep, Clay the Mudwing. We get to finally one of the Dragonettes. Clay is the Mudwing in the group. He's the shield, the rock, the person who makes sure they stay together. And just saying all that, I think of no one but William Moseley, who played Peter in the Narnia movies. He just always wants to protect his family, and that's exactly what Clay is. I know he's British in real life, I think, so I don't really imagine Clay having a British accent, but I'm sure William Moseley can change his accent. He is also a good actor. And some of these clips are also from a very long time ago, so they probably won't sound the exact same because they're a lot older now. But let's just X off that, and we'll get to this. Okay, so this is kind of what Clay, in my opinion, should sound like.
Get some sleep. And Edmund, try not to wander off.
So I get I'm not sure, some of these clips are quieter than others, so I'm not sure if you can actually hear them. But I think William Moseley would be a very good person to play Clay. And Clay is such a cool character. He's so... it's so hard to describe them without describing too many secrets from the book. But he is very strong, as all Mudwings are. He can actually heal himself if he is in mud, but other dragons can't do that. Only the Mudwings can, and they can hide in mud and pretty much anything else. But I think that's a good role for William Moseley to play Clay. And moving on to Tsunami, I believe, is next. The next Dragonette, the sea wing of the group. Nope. Sorry about that. You guys saw too much, evidently. Next up, we have Tsunami, which I think Jennifer Lawrence would be a good role for Tsunami. I haven't really seen many movies with Jennifer Lawrence in them. I saw the Hunger Games, and I saw the X-Men movies. And I'm not saying Jennifer Lawrence is like this in real life, but she kind of has that sort of, because Tsunami kind of assumes leadership in the group, even though I guess technically Clay is the leader. But Tsunami, like always, is like bossing people around, telling them what to do, and everything else, kind of like I said, the leader. And I think Jennifer Lawrence would do that really well, how she was with Mystique and, what was her name in Hungry? Katniss Everdeen, that was it. So I'll play the voice clip again. Let me just cover this up. Editing would be a real good thing to have right about now. And there we go. And anywho, so this is what she would kind of sound like.
I have to. You haven't changed at all, Charles. Like I said, I know exactly what I have to do.
Now, there are a few people in here I think are perfect for the roles. I think Jennifer Lawrence is perfect to play Tsunami. And I know 287 released like a thing and said we're going to try to get mainly voice actors. They said try, because the cast hasn't been released yet. And I sent her the letter, and she never responded back to me. I sent the letter like a year ago when it was just a rumor that it was going to be a TV show. And she never responded back, which is kind of sad. But hopefully this will get around to her, or to get around to some of you guys, and maybe you can send her a letter with these characters, or of characters of your own. We'll see what we can come up with, everyone. But Tsunami is a sea woman, means she can breathe underwater, she can see in the dark, and she also has glow-in-the-dark scales. And she's also very, very fast in the water. And pretty much all she wants to do is escape from the cave that they're in. Because to keep them safe from all the dragons of the outside world, because they're dragons, they're going to fight each other. And it's in a huge war for the three queens. So she wants to just get out of the cave. She's looking for any possible way to escape. But, yeah, I think Jennifer Lawrence is a good role for Tsunami. And my sister agreed. She said, I'll tell you what my sister thinks on Fjord, that she said really good. But she said Jennifer Lawrence, she could definitely see us playing Tsunami. My sister listened to the audiobooks. She didn't really... She listened to the audiobooks, which is someone reading the book. And so technically she has read them, but no one else has. Moving on to the person you saw, we have Glory, which is Shannon McManus, who did the audiobooks. And when me and my sister listened, because I also listened to them, but I read the book before I listened to them. But anyway, I think she did a really, really good Glory. And Glory is a rainwing, means she can change her scale. She has a prehensile tail, and there's a secret weapon rainwings have, and most people don't know about. Read the books and you'll find out for yourself. But she can also turn herself invisible. She can change her scales to match her environment like a chameleon. Although she can become like completely invisible. Or she can change her scales based on her mood. Like pink is the color of happiness. Green is the color of fear. I think black is the color of sadness or maybe depression. Red is obviously the color of anger. You guys know if you read the books or watch the TV show when it comes out. But I'm going to have to use Spotify for this. Just a little bit clip. So also, you can listen to the audiobooks on Spotify, or you can listen to on Audible. But I would recommend listening to them on Spotify, because you have to pay money to listen to them on Audible. But here we go. This is what I think Glory should sound like.
Maybe later, when we're trying to fall asleep.
I think that was a very good Glory. I'm sorry that it was so loud. As I said, some things are louder than others. But I think that was really, really well. And if you saw anything from my Spotify history... you probably saw a little bit of my release radar. You saw Star Wars Theory, which I listen to sometimes, and my JJ Heller, because the Apple TV we have is hooked up to my Spotify account. And my sister really loves JJ Heller. I love a few songs by her, but not as many as she does. But anyway, and everyone always is saying, because as I said back in Hivitor, they were supposed to have a Skywing egg. Well, I'm not going to tell you what happened with the Skywing that was in that egg. But Glory was instead sort of gotten as a replacement for that egg. And no one likes her except her family, so the Dragonettes. All the other not overseers, that's too harsh of a word. Guardians, that's the word I'm looking for. All her guardians pretty much just hate her. They think Rainwings are horrible. Rainwings aren't involved in the war. So no one really wants them on their side, because everyone thinks they're just lazy tree people who live in the trees and eat fruit all day. But Glory is anything but that, and you will find out when you read the books. Now, let's move on to Starflight, I believe. If it works, that is. It clicked the button, but it didn't go. There's a washer going off. Hello? Why isn't this working? I'm gonna have to exit off, because that's gonna complicate things really badly. Okay, I'm gonna cover it up just a second in case something happens. Move back. And then... Yes, next is Starflight, who was my favorite Dragonette of the four, who is a Nightwing. Nightwings have the ability to blend in during the night, obviously because they're just completely black, and they have little scattered scales on their wings that look like stars. They can blend in perfectly with the night. They have the ability to have visions of the future and prophecies of the future as well, and they also have the ability to read minds. So I thought that was a really cool feature when I first read the books. I actually didn't read the books when I first started. I literally just found the first book graphic novel in our library, and I just asked my mom if I could get it. And my mom said yes, and I read the book. I was like, this is a really, really good book. And I found there were other books, so I read the whole series and everything else. But you don't know who J. Chris Wall is. I'll tell you about him. He mainly works, if you know about the Wingfeather Saga, he works with that. He works with the new upcoming Wingfeather Saga show, which will be out on VidAngel, I believe sometime next year, which I cannot wait for. I love the Wingfeather Saga. That is the #1 book, aside from the Bible. The #1 book in my personal opinion, because my brother's is like Lord of the Rings, and everyone has their own opinion. But I read it first, and I got my youngest brother and my sister to read them, and they love it, and now my eldest sister is also starting to read it. But I think he did a very good job, and really this one didn't take like much thinking at all. Literally just, I thought this was a perfect voice. So there's a Wingfeather short film that you can watch on YouTube, which I've watched multiple times, and he played Janner, who is a kid in Wingfeather Saga. He played Janner in the show, and this is kind of what he sounds like.
Grandpa, you said if I got the sheaves in before breakfast, I could go to the bookstore on my own.
So, I get he sounds a lot younger than probably Starflight would be. I think the Dragonets are around 8 years old, maybe 8 or around 10 years old, maybe. I don't know for sure. But if you just made his voice sound a little bit older, I think that's like the perfect voice for Starflight, because Starflight, he's not like all Nightwings, but he is super brainy, has a lot of facts in his head, and will not shy away from telling you every single fact in his head. He loves scrolls and the history of Pahyria, or however you pronounce the island that they're on. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Still don't, after all these years of loving the series, I still have no idea how to pronounce it. But he loves studying the history in every type of point. He loves studying, he loves reading, he loves pretty much anything to make him smarter. And that is Starflight's persona, basically. But let's move on to the next and final Dragonet. We have Sunny, who is probably the happiest, non-lethal Dragonet you will ever meet. Unlike normal Sandwings, she doesn't have a barb on her tail. If you go back to Queen Byrne, all Sandwings have a barb on their tail like a scorpion, and it has a deadly venom in it. But Sunny, she doesn't have a barb on her tail, and she's unlike most Sandwings, most Sandwings are like a sand color, like sort of a, I don't know what the, sort of like a hazy kind of sand. I don't really know what I'm looking for, but Sunny is like a golden color, which is unlike most Sandwings, but she can still breathe fire if she is warm enough. You have to, most dragons, unless you're a Skywing, like Mudwings and Nightwings and Sandwings, you have to be warm enough to be able to breathe fire. But also, like all Sandwings, heat radiates from her skin or scales, like all Sandwings, I guess because they live in the desert, but Sunny doesn't, and she can still do it because she lives in an underground cave. But she wants the war to end. She believes wholeheartedly in the prophecy that they will end the war, and she will do anything possible within reason to end the war. She doesn't really want to hurt anyone. She just wants all the sides to come together and talk an end to the war. Will that happen? I don't know. Read the books. But I think A.V. Lake would be a good person to play her. But my sister had another opinion. So, A.V. Lake is the Quagmire girl in a series of fortunate events. I'll play you the clip because that's the clip I got. And this is just the person I did in the letter, so I just kept it the way it was. My sister, if you ever watched the TV show Leverage, you probably know Parker's character, Beth Riesgroff, I think I pronounce her name. She said that would be a good character for Sunny. So I didn't get a clip of that, sadly, but I asked my eldest sister, and she said A.V. Lake would probably be better because just Beth Riesgroff, I think, is in her maybe, I don't know how old she is. I think maybe in her 30s, maybe? I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone. I literally don't know. But A.V. Lake, I know is maybe in her, I think 20s at the most. But I think, pretty sure she's in her teens. And my sister said just because she's younger, she can picture her as Sunny. Now, my sister hasn't read the books, though, so she wouldn't really know how they sound or anything. But play the clip for you. Or play the audio for you, I guess. So Sunny would kind of sound like this.
We
We have to be careful sneaking out, so you guys go first and we'll wait till it's clear.
Which I actually think that sounds like Sunny. Literally, that sounds like Sunny. And I think that's a good voice for Sunny. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you choose Avi Lake? Or, I don't know how you, if I'm mispronouncing, as I already said, if I'm mispronouncing, I apologize. Now we move on to one of the Guardians. Webbs, who is a Sea-Wing Guardian who brought, actually, Glory's egg to the whole underground cave when the Skywing egg was lost. But, and I actually didn't come up with this idea. I've looked over cast reviews and everything, but Jesse Eisenberg was, a lot of people say he should play Webbs, and I agree with them. I think he would be a good Webbs voice. And no other characters, as I recall, have gotten from anyone else's point of view, because I kind of want this to be my own thing, but I agree. Jesse Eisenberg would be a good person to play Webbs. I will get the clip ready. Now, the Guardians are part of an organization known as the Talons of Peace, which want to end the war without the prophecy, pretty much. But when they found the Dragonettes and the eggs and learned of the prophecy, they wanted to end the war, so they got the Dragonettes and protected them with the 3 Guardians that they have, which you will get to the 2 Guardians later. But Webbs, he doesn't want to kill anyone. He joined the Talons of Peace to get away from killing other dragons. He even kidnapped Tsunami. I guess all the Guardians kidnapped everyone, but he kidnapped Tsunami too from the Sea-Wing Kingdom, and we'll get into that in the second book, or you guys can read it on your own. But Jesse Eisenberg, I think this is what he sounded like.
I'm going to flip through this deck, and I want you to see one card, not this one. That's too obvious. Pay close attention. That was too fast. I'll do it again.
I think that's a good voice for Webbs. I would agree. That was from Now You See Me, the Magician movie. The first one was a lot better than the second one. I have to agree with my sister there. But I think that's a good voice for Webbs. And as I said, all of these this isn't like exactly what they would sound like. It's just to give you a general idea of what I think they would sound like. So just thought I'd explain that. But let's move on to the next Guardian. My favorite of the Guardians, Dune, who I think Christian Kane, which I don't know where this idea came in my head, but I think it would just be a good personality, because Dune is a Sandwing, but in lore, his leg got injured, and his wing got injured. So he's a very, very large Sandwing, but he can't really fly. He still has a barb on his tail, if you can see in the picture his tail. And he has a key. He's the only one who can get out of the cave, or can open the door to the cave, because he has the key around his neck, which he doesn't leave the cave very often, so he just lets people out because he can't fly and anything else. But he's a really cool character. I really like Dune, and I think Christian Kane would be a perfect person to play. He's also from the show Leverage. He is the hitter, I guess you could say. He's not a hit man, I would say, because he doesn't go around killing people. He will... if you watch the show, you know what I'm meaning about. If you haven't, basically just he'll punch his way through any situation, pretty much. But anywho, and this clip was kind of hard to find of a good Christian Kane voice, so I just went with Leverage, because that's the only thing I know him from. But this is kind of what Dune, in my opinion, should sound like.
Gentlemen, I'm asking on one of your colleagues. Somebody who rolled a priest. Who was it?
If you want to watch that episode of Leverage, you can on... it's on Amazon Prime, or you can buy the DVD, which is what we did, so we can put it on ClearPlay, because that takes out the bad words and stuff, and everything bad in it. ClearPlay is a wonderful invention, by the way. Thank you to whoever made it, but I think that would be a good role for Christian Kane. I doubt they would probably get him, or if he'd want to, or if any of these actors or actresses would want to do it. I'm not sure if they even heard of Wings of Fire before, but this is, as I said, this is who I would imagine. Now, the next one is one of those few people who are perfect for the role. Kestrel as Kate Blanchett. The evil Kate Blanchett, as my family calls her. But Kestrel is like the mean one of the group, who will fight to the end to defend the Dragonette. She really, really doesn't like Glory. She doesn't really like any of them, but she knows the Dragonette from the prophecy, so she has to protect them. Otherwise, she probably would have snapped their necks a long time ago when they were kids. Well, they still are kids, but when they were, like, baby Dragonettes. But, she even, like, in training, she will injure them in battle training. She'll even she's even burned clay sometimes with her fire, because Skywings can breathe fire whenever they want. But Skywings have very large wings and can fly super, super fast in the air, and they can breathe fire whenever they want, as I said. And Cate Blanchett just has that personality, I guess. And my sister and pretty much everyone agreed that, even who haven't read the book, they say that's a good role for Cate Blanchett. And here we are. One moment.
But then, simply because my ambition outgrew his, he banished me, caged me, locked me away like an animal. Before that, Asgard's warriors were honored.
Yeah. I also said some clips will be longer than others, but I think this would be a very good role for Cate Blanchett. I really hope they get her in the show. I'm fine if some of these characters don't get her. I'm fine with a ton of them, but I think a few of them, like, are really perfect. I think they should get to be in the show. I think that'd be super, super cool. Let's keep moving on. We have Morris here, and wow, you can actually see you can see it in the video better than you can see it in real life, actually. But Morris here is the Nightwing who comes. He's the guy who had the prophecy of the Dragonettes of Destiny to end the war. He's the one who had that prophecy. And I'm sure all of you have seen the Hobbit movies, and you know about Smaug, and Benedict Cumberbatch who played him. And I think that'd just be a very good voice for Morris here. So why don't we take a little clip? I already told you about Nightwings. Morris here, I guess, is sort of a bad-tempered Nightwing, though. He's sort of one of the main generals in the Nightwing tribe. He's super, super powerful. He's bigger, one of the bigger dragons. Like, he's bigger than Dune, bigger than Kestrel. He's super, super big. I don't know why. Even after I've read the books, I still don't know why. It's not me trying to keep any secrets from you guys. I have no idea why he's so big. He is really, really big. And super, super strong because he's super big. But either way, let's get the clip.
Well, thief. I smell you. I hear your breath.
I'm trying to just adjust the camera right now. Hang on a second. I think I need a new tripod. This one isn't what it used to be. Got this tripod for like 20 bucks. Ooh, that one's like, yeah, I'll leave it right there. That's pretty good. Anywho, so you saw the clip. I think that's a good voice for Morris here. My sister also agreed. I get it, though, if they don't, because Benedict Cumberbatch is a super good actor. I saw The Courier. He was really, really good in. I saw Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. He's also really good as Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok. We literally just watched Thor Ragnarok tonight because some of my family members went out to do something at the church put together, but not all of us wanted to go. So not my eldest brother, my second youngest brother, I guess, and my youngest brother stayed home tonight, and we watched Thor Ragnarok, and it was really good, and I think he's a really good actor. So I get if they can't put him in the Wings of Fire show, because it would probably cost a lot of money to get him, but I hope they do, because he's a good actor, and I think he'd be good for Morris here. But anyway, let's move on to, we have Queen Scarlet. So all of the tribes and everything, they have queens who lead them. They have kings too, but the queens do most of the ruling. Anywho, so Queen Scarlet, as you can see, has a gold chest plate with rubies on it. She loves treasure, and she loves gruesome death, I guess. She has an arena where she takes prisoners of war and puts them to fight against. If you win, you go free, but no one's ever done it because she has a very, very powerful champion. If you defeat the champion, you go free, but no one's ever done it because you'll know why when I get to her champion. But like most Skywings, she can breathe fire whenever she wants, and she's a good warrior, never been defeated. She's had multiple daughters, because if you're daughter, you can challenge her for the throne, but you have to fight the queen and kill her to win in battle, or not win, to get the queen ship. She's had multiple daughters who have tried. All of them have failed. She killed every one. She has 2 daughters left. I forgot their names. No, one of them's name was Ruby. I forgot the other one. But I think Nicole Kidman would be a good role play. Because if I remember, I think I looked up somewhere, and most of all Nicole Kidman's roles, I think, were bad guys. And Queen Scarlet is a bad guy. She's the one who finds the Dragonette's hidden cave, and I can't really explain much more about what happened after that. But as I said, she loves gruesome deaths in the arena. The more gruesome, the more thrilling it is to her, and that is the word she uses very often, thrilling. But I think that would be a good role, so let's get the clip. I tell you, editing would be great about now, but we are almost there, actually. We're running out of tabs, but let's just go here.
Of course. A lovely specimen like you shouldn't be out on the streets.
That's what I think Queen Scarlet should sound like, which was her from Paddington, which I guess, I get it, it's a weird kind of choice for a dragon movie, but I couldn't, as I said, I found a hard time finding clips. But anywho, because I had to do this on short notice because everything I got, everything ready and everything else, there was a blackout we had here and it erased all of my progress. And then my brother accidentally, he didn't do it on purpose or anything, he just blatant-mindedly, or not blatant-mindedly, just most of the time we always click X whenever we're done with anything, and he had another tab open on Google and he just clicked X by accident, not knowing that it would actually exit off everything. And our Google Chrome was slow, so he didn't think it did anything at the time, but it didn't exit off everything. But my sister, eldest sister, was able to get everything back, so thank you. Let's move on. You guys saw the clip and you know what I'm talking about. Peril, who is the Queen's champion, Natalie Portman. I just think that's a good role. So, the thing about Peril, why I see it's a good champion, is her scales literally are on fire. Literally. If you touch them, you get burned. She can still breathe fire, too. So, all of this, if you touch any part of it, I guess except for, like, her teeth and horns and eyeballs and stuff, I don't know why you'd want to touch that, all of the rest of her body will burn you. Anywhere you touch. So, if she, like, even just puts a handprint on you, that's going to burn in a handprint. Or imagine, just, like, if she just, like, wraps her wings around you. You're just caught in a, whoof, you're gone in a puff of smoke. That's why she's the Queen's champion. That's why no one's ever won their freedom, because anytime, I guess, combatant gets a few wins, the Queen will send in Peril, and she will annihilate them, I guess is the good word for it. And this is a young clip of Natalie Portman as Padme in Phantom Menace. So, she probably won't sound exactly this, but I'm sure she could get her voice to do it. And let's go on to the clip, please.
The Queen is worried. Her people are suffering, dying. She must convince the Senate to intervene. I'm not sure what'll happen.
I get that voice is like really young when she did the first Padme. I think she also didn't like playing in Star Wars for some reason. I don't know why. But as I said, she is older now, so she could make her voice sound a little bit older. And I think that'd be a good voice for Peril. My sister also agreed. Now let's keep moving on. Peril is a very cool dragon. A fan favorite of some people. But I personally prefer a few others that we're not going to be able to get to in this book. But we'll get to later. We have, I get these pictures like look exactly the same going back and forth. But we have Vermillion, who I think Raymond Park should play. He played Darth Maul in Star Wars. In the movies, at least. He also played, or at least did the stunts, everything for Snake Eyes in the G.I. Joe movies. I haven't seen them. I really want to, though. He didn't play Snake Eyes in the newest G.I. Joe movie, Snake Eyes movie, Origins. I get it, why, because he actually had to take his helmet off and everything a bunch, but I think it would have still been cool. He's a stuntman in real life. That's why he does all this stuff. But Vermillion is the son of Queen Scarlet, and the sons can't challenge queens for the throne because only queens or daughters can do that. But he's like the announcer in the arena who will like say, in this corner we have this person, in this corner we have this person, claws up, teeth ready, fight. And that's pretty much all he does. So he has a short role in the movie, but he does come back later in the books. So, and like I say, just pretty much like any other Skywing. But Raymond Park, I feel like the voice probably for Darth Maul would work best. Because Sam Witwer in the Clone Wars played Darth Maul in the Rebels and all the TV shows and stuff, but I don't really think that's really a good Vermillion voice. I think this is a good Vermillion voice. Let's get the clip, please.
Tatooine is sparsely populated. If the trace was correct, I will find them quickly, Master. At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
And I get Vermillion doesn't sound like that menacing and dark, but he doesn't have to make it sound like it's not gonna be exactly like Darth Maul. It's gonna be like him, is what I think. And he is a voice actor, I think, because he did do some voice acting, I believe, if I remember correctly. So he could very well play Vermillion. I think that'd be really cool. My sister, no one really knows much about Raymond Park. They know he plays Darth Maul, but that's about it. But let's keep moving on. Next we have, what do you call him? Do you call him Fjord or Fjord? When I first read the books, I said Fjord, but later my sister said it's pronounced Fjord, which I don't really know, but he is an Ice Wing. These are like my favorite type of dragons in the series. I love Ice Wings. I don't know why this one is so zoomed out. I did just like all the other ones, just zoomed out for but he's like the main Ice Wing in the arena. They did a huge battle with one of the rival Queen's armies in the Scarlet's arena was stuffed with Ice Wing prisoners. He's the only one who survived all that time. He later goes up to fight a Mudwing that you guys probably will know. But Pedro Pascal, I'm assuming you all know who he is. He plays the Mandalorian in the newest Mandalorian show. He also was someone in Game of Thrones, but I don't watch Game of Thrones because it has a lot of nasty content in it. And we don't like that here, do we, ladies and gentlemen? But Ice Wings have the ability, they have that little serrated stuff on their tail, which if you smack someone in the face, a dragon, that's going to leave several marks. And they don't really do well in deserts and other they prefer to stay in the Ice Kingdom, also because they're Ice Wings, but they also can breathe freezing death breath, which is basically just breathe ice all over you, and it basically gives wherever it hits frostbite or whatever. Sometimes Ice Wing will even like freeze a dragon's arm, and then because it has frostbite, they will rip off the dragon's arm. It's pretty gruesome. I haven't seen anyone do it because I haven't seen them, but I haven't read anyone do it. I haven't read any reports on it. I have heard like some battle rumors and like battle latencies, but it's never happened in like an actual battle. But I think that'd be real cool if they got the Mandalorian to play him. I almost forgot to do the clip, and that would have been really bad. Let's get it.
The Moth has a light cruiser. It could be helpful in your effort to regain Mandalore.
And I'm not sure if I already showed it or not, actually, so let's just say I didn't. And that's pretty much what F. George sounded. He wouldn't sound like that because he wouldn't have a helmet on, scrambling his voice kind of. It would just sound like Pedro Pascal when he takes off the Mandalorian helmet. But I think that'd be really cool. And this video is going quite long, so I kind of need to hurry this up. Oh, wow, it's 12:01 a.m. Wonderful. And if you have Osprey, he's very old, and he's a very learned dragon, because Vermillion, also another part in Vermillion, he is, when the queen, she loves drama and everything else. She loves to have trials for people. And Vermillion, her son, always is the prosecutor. I'm not sure if I came these words right, but the prosecutor, and always saying, execute them right now. It doesn't matter what they do, just execute them. And the queen usually agrees with him because he loves executing people. But Osprey is the defense. He always just does it because technically the queen is holding a trial, so there has to be someone there to do it. Osprey had his wings ripped off in the war because he was a fighter for Queen Scarlet, but in a battle he had his wings ripped off. I have a theory about that I will divulge later in one of the books we do. But so he can't fly. He pretty much just stays on the ground all the time. He does have a very small role, so I get it why they probably couldn't do Liam Neeson. But I think Liam Neeson, and my sister agreed, would sound kind of like Osprey. And probably like this.
Keep your concentration here and now where it belongs, but not at the expense of the moment. Be mindful of the living force.
What in the... I don't know what that was. Okay. You probably know Willem Dafoe's in here now, based on that, but don't know why it did that. Anywho. So, Liam Neeson should be Osprey, and let's move on to Gil Willem Dafoe. Now, Gale is a sea wing in the arena. A very actually important sea wing that you'll learn about in the second book. But basically what happens if you dehydrate a sea wing, they need water. Just like all dragons do, they need water to drink, but they need water basically because they're sea wings. They need some kind of water. So he refuses to fight when he's first in the arena. He convinces his opponents to not fight him at all. So the Queen has no reason to send him to champion either. So she dehydrates Gale to where he becomes this crazed, just, I don't know what's zombified, I guess would be a good word too, or insane, violent dragon when he's dehydrated. And based on that clip you heard, Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, he did an excellent job in the Spider-Man movie. And what in the world is going on? It skipped a lot going on there. Hold up, I gotta get it back to where it actually was. Hold it. There we go. Anywho, so, I'm not saying Willem Dafoe is crazy and insane and everything, but I think he did a very good job playing Green Goblin. He was kind of like a two-sided personalities kind of role, and I thought that was really good. So, basically like this. So, when Gil is sane, he'd sound just like Willem Dafoe, but when he's insane out of his mind, he would sound like Green Goblin, kind of like this. Or not. Hang on, something's wrong. Not on mute, so I don't know what's going on. Yep, the sound's on full. So I don't know what is wrong.
Remember?
Oh, just really quiet.
A little accident in the laboratory. Performance enhancers. Bingo. Me. Your greatest creation.
So yeah, that's what Gil would kind of sound like. It didn't get this thing I wanted just because it was really quiet, but that's what it kind of sounded like. When he would just like normal Norman Osborn, he would sound like Gil, but when he's crazy and insane, he sounds like Green Goblin, which I thought that was really good for Gil, and my sister agreed. I need to end this video shortly. Cattail, who is Clay's mother, Jennifer Esposito, who played Danny's first female partner in Blue Bloods. And at this point, when I was doing the list, I was just kind of like, these are just random people in the book that you don't really get to see for how long, so I'm just kind of getting whoever I can and who also fits the role, I think. And so, I think she has a good voice for Cattail. So, I'll go ahead and get the clip. And Cattail is a mudwing, obviously. And I can't really divulge much. I say divulge a lot in this episode. But she'll pretty much do whatever needs to be to survive for herself.
Red light camera on the corner of Houghton Avenue. See it.
And it's playing another clip. I don't know why it's doing this. I think it's just because our computer's old. But anywho, that's what she would sound like. And there's not really much I can say about these characters because they're minor characters. So let's move on to Clay's brother, Reed. And he is, besides Clay, of course, he's the eldest Mudwing who takes care of the rest of his family because their mother really doesn't do much. She just, as I said, cares about only herself. And Will Estes, another character from Blue Bloods. I think that'd be really cool to get him. And I actually think he actually does sound like Reed. I thought this was a good role for Reed, would be Will Estes, or Estes, however you pronounce his name. So now I gotta get this back to where it was. Which I don't know where it was, which is the problem. Okay, hang on just 1 second, everybody. I just gotta check something. Oh, there goes the speaker. Okay, so I know where we need to be. Anywho. Oh, we just passed the card. Okay, I think it's like right here. Let me turn it up.
Well, I'm not nostalgic or sentimental. I love my job, and I'm good at it.
So that's what Reed would sound like, in my opinion. And my sister, she was kind of on edge about this kind of last minute characters. Not last minute, I did think about them because I wanted them to get a good role for them. But she wasn't really as positive about some of the other characters. But let's keep moving on. We have Sora, who is Clay's sister, as Melina Wiseman, I don't know. She plays Violet in A Series of Fortunate Events, the TV show, not the movie. So let's get the clip, please. As I said, Sora and pretty much anyone else you're gonna see here are all pretty much Mudwings, and they all are pretty much the exact same. Sora is like a slightly grayish tint to her scales, I guess. Let's just play the clip.
Who want to see Count Olaf's care, if we can even call it that. Who knows what would happen to us on the street? At least here we have a roof over our head.
Yeah, that's what she would sound like. That's really all I can say. I'm tired at this point and I want to go to bed. But I do think that's a good voice for Sora. Let's keep moving on. Please don't break now. Pheasant, who is also Clay's sister, I think. I can get some characters mixed up because I don't really know if it's a boy or a girl talking, so I had to physically look up what they were, and the internet said Pheasant was a girl. So I thought either Georgia or Georgie Henley, who plays Lucy in Narnia, and I specifically did this because I thought it'd be cool to bring like the Narnia cast back together, because they're pretty much like family. Literally in real life, they're like family. After you do the whole Narnia thing, I don't see how you could walk away from that without feeling like these people are like your brothers and sisters. I don't know how you could do that. And so I'll play the clip. Boom.
You're all acting like there's only two options. Dying here or dying there.
You also got a little bit of William Moseley there at the end, but you get the main idea. She wouldn't sound British, of course. She could have a little bit of an accent, but it wouldn't be like full British, which is what Lucy was in the Prince Caspian movie, which I brought. I got the clip from. And that's pretty much it. Let's keep moving on. Mars, who is Skander Keys, or Keynes, I don't know. Who is Edmund, of course, in Narnia. As I said, I'm trying to bring back the cast. And Susan wasn't in here, but we will get to her later, and you will see why I didn't put her in the cast of this. But he plays Marsh, which is one of Clay's brothers, who has like a very, very dull scales, I guess, like almost gray. But let's just get the clip and get this video over with. Oh, we only have 3 more. We are so close, ladies and gentlemen. So close.
Yes, and if they're smart, the Talmans will just wait and starve us out.
That is what he would pretty much sound like. As I said, not British, of course, like they were in the Narnia movies, but it would, I guess, sound like however they make the Mudwings sound. I don't know how they're going to make them sound, but let's keep getting into it. We are almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Final one of Clay's siblings, Umber, who is the youngest out of all of them, who Lewis Hines, I don't know. He plays Klaus in A Series of Fortunate Events, which that was pretty much, again, it was me trying to like bring back, because they were brother and sister in the show. I wanted to bring them back together again. I feel like that's something you want. After being in a whole series with someone, you'd want to see them again, probably. Now, let's get the clip. And again, it wouldn't sound like that. It wouldn't sound like so brainy like he does in the show. But he's like super brainy and a brainiac and everything else. He'd probably just not... He would sound like Lewis Hines or Haynes or whatever you pronounce it, but not probably like this. But
my sister's exploring. She says she wants to see every inch of this penthouse.
Again, as I said, it wouldn't sound like that. It would just... This is just a general idea to give you them. And now we're on the final one, ladies and gentlemen. Final character in this book, at least. There are a few other characters, but they had like really, really minor roles that I chose not to put the picture in and get the put them in the video. Pretty much, there's a ladybug on the screen. We are infested by ladybugs. Actually, I've had to literally take the vacuum and vacuum off the ceilings. Get off. I just hate the smell of ladybugs. After you flick it or do anything, your hand stinks afterwards. Finally, Queen Blister, Karen Gillan, or Gillian, however you want to pronounce her name. Queen Blister is another one of the sisters. There's one more that we'll get to in a later book. but Queen Blister is like the smart one, the conniving one. It was her idea, actually, to start the war in the first place, because I guess normally, after their mother died, none of them killed them. That's how the whole war started, because none of them killed them, so none of them really could be queen. It was Blister's idea to start the war because she knew she couldn't beat Burn in a fight, because Burn was the strongest and eldest and everything else. So she's super, super smart and everything else. And I figured that's just a good role for Karen Gillan. Or Gillian, however you pronounce her name, I don't know. And as I said, Karen Gillan, I'm just going to say Gillian. Karen Gillian is not conniving. I'm sure she's smart in real life, but I don't think she's conniving and evil in real life like Blister is. But let's go ahead and get the clip. I used a Nebula clip because I didn't really know what else to use. Because I know the only really things I've seen her in, I know she's in Jumanji, which was a good movie, but we also saw Career Play. I don't really think Blister would sound like that, so I guess it would be more like Nebula, is what I'm thinking. Just not like real robotic cyborg kind of thing. But let's get the clip, the final clip.
As a child, my father would have Gamora and me battle one another in training. Every time my sister prevailed, my father would replace a piece of me with machinery.
So as I said, it wouldn't be like that gravel voice to Blister. It would just kind of be, it would be like, kind of actually sound like Nebula, just without that gravel in Nebula's voice. Woo! And we are done, ladies and gentlemen. We made it. Thumbs up. We made it, everybody. Woo, that was a long video. I'm sure you guys were interested in seeing this if you made it this far without fast forwarding or anything. I'm sure you guys were interested in seeing this cast. I actually have more for all the way up to the 4th book, which I probably will be doing for a video. And they're not going to be as long as this one, because I already have most of the characters that are in that book. It's just some of the new characters, so those will be shorter. Oh, I need some water really badly. But anywho, that's the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. As I said, this video was a ton of work, so I would really much appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to this channel and like this video and tell me what you guys think of it. I'm very interested to know. I need to drink water really badly. But anywho, that's all for this video, everyone. I'm glad to be back, and I will see you all in the next one. Good night, and God bless.